I've seen people make it complete normal YouTube videos with things like their phone, and that made me very interested to try. Wondered if phone audio would be tingly at all. So here we are, making things on our phone. If this sounds horribly bad, then I'll probably never do it again. However, I have hope. I am also moving the phone around as I speak and talk about things because I'm hoping that maybe you will get some cool directional sounds. But maybe not. Who knows? Not really sure. But anyways, yeah, I am back making some cool videos for you guys. One thing I will say is I don't really know if I should be really, really close or really, really far, really, really far, really, really close, or really, really far, really, really far. That actually is kind of cool. I can kind of, yeah, see, I'm already discovering fun things. Let's do that again. Really, really close, really, really far, really, really close, really, really far. Okay, that's enough of that. Hey, we like to do yaps here. We like to talk about random endeavors. And so what type of fun random endeavors did I want to talk about today? Well, I don't really know. To be honest, I kind of just clicked play on the video without actually thinking of a script or a specific thing I wanted to talk about or really much of anything. I'm just kind of here to be honest. But hey, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna chat a little bit. Probably not anything too terribly long, but I also don't want to, I kind of want to let things flow as they normally do. So let's see, what do I want to talk about? 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 I'd like to talk about friendships. So I was talking with a friend of mine today, and she was complaining to me that she feels like people have this weird desire now to kind of put in as little effort as possible into friendships. And at first I wasn't necessarily sure what she meant, but it's something that once I asked more details, I knew exactly what she meant. This is something I like to call the era of the nonchalant. So the era of the nonchalant is this mental idea that because people are so afraid of being considered cringe or weird or not being accepted, that they go for this kind of idea of being as nonchalant as possible, right? The less effort you put in, the less energy you put in. No one can say you're cringe. No one can say you're weird. No one can have any problems with you. And I think when you live in the world of the internet, where everyone's so interconnected and everyone's kind of talking to each other and judging each other, to be more exact, you're gonna get situations where people are afraid to just be themselves. that's worse. That doesn't make it any better. I'm only 26 years old, by the way, guys. So when I was around 16 and 17 and younger, the internet wasn't as prevalent, and so people were kind of allowed to act their age, right? But now that the internet is everywhere and everyone has access to it, we now get this weird situation of, oh, you see a bunch of kids on the internet being kids and you label them as cringe or weird. And let's be fair, they are cringe and weird, but I think there is something special about being that way when you're a child. It is a time in your life where you have so much wonder left in your mind and you view the world in such a positive way. It kind of feels like a sad reality to take that away from the younger kids, because now I hear young people, as in 15, 16-year-olds, talking about doom and gloom and the end of the world is near and just all this super negative things. And it made me wonder, since when did younger people get so depressed? And I do think part of it is because in the way that the internet works these days, we no longer allow people to be young. We no longer allow people to act their age. Now it's all about acting older, or you risk being cringe. That was a really long cringe. You risk being called cringe. And so, yeah, it's really sad, I think, having that, joy kind of stripped from you at a young age because of a fear of being labeled as unpleasant to be around. But what can you really do, I guess? I guess not a whole lot. But yeah, that was something that a friend of mine's wanted to talk to me about. And we had a really long conversation. I don't need to go through everything, but yeah, it was a great convo between me and her, and I'm very interested to see if any of you guys have anything to say in the comments, or if anybody wants to, give their side and why they think what they think of the cringe theory and the nonchalant theory. But it also, extends to older people as well. I kind of specifically talked more about young people, but it affects older people as well, because you then get older people who they want to pass the vibe check, There's this perpetual vibe check that's always happening around older individuals, and everyone is trying their best to pass. And in reality, it's a test that only really ends up with losers. And by losers, I mean people who end up just being unhappy because they aren't allowed to be who they really are. So like losers as in literally losing the test, losing the game. But yeah, I think it's just fascinating, like how the internet has changed